Hello, this is the Equanamoose again. I wanted to further the discussion around the differentiation between mindfulness and equanimity, to really hit home the message how equanimity is different. So I'm being intentionally provocative here when I say that mindfulness is like having sex with the present moment. You know, you really get up close and personal to it with the raw nakedness of what is as it occurs on a moment-to-moment basis. You get up close, personal with your breathing, the sensations in your body as they change, as the air changes around your skin. You know, it's really kind of a very pleasurable experience once you've, got away from the thought stream and you're kind of just experiencing the moment as it is. You get a lot out of it, it feels good, and once you taste it, you want more, and you notice when you're not mindful more and more. So that's the kind of journey it puts you on. It's very much like having sex with the moment. But if you want to make love to the moment, if you want to make real love to the moment, then that's when you bring equanimity into the mix. Because this is where you start making love to it. And by making love to the moment, I mean sustained compassion for self and others. You know, is what I call true love, actually. It requires you to start heightening your awareness to your own likes, dislikes, and neutralities. You know, so the way you see the world through these three layers, if you like, they give rise to what we like. Then that becomes what we attach, what we want more of. And we know we're in like a little hamster wheel, constantly trying to get more and more of what we like. And then we're upset when we don't get what we want. The other alternative is we become averse to what we don't like. And what we dislike gives us displeasure, and that, you know, maybe some fear or threat or kind of hatred emerges there. So we actively avoid this type of experience, this type of encounter in the world. And then when it does happen, which it will, we're upset with that too. And then the poor neutrals. The neutrals experiences, you know, the ones that don't really titillate us, they kind of probably just get heaped on the dislike pile because they're just kind of meh. They're also, you know, quite a prevalent way of being, and we'll probably, because of this, try our best to try and get the likes, tolerate the neutrals and avoid the dislikes, and then that way we're living a very, very small kind of life, really, because these feelings are all related to our self-concept, and that is not necessarily wired up in the healthiest way. You know, science tells us that we have a negativity bias. So, you know, if you just think about how we're always trying to find pleasure, but yet our brain's 90% of the time, don't quote me on that, but a large percentage of the time in negativity, then of course that's not a nice, you know, it's not a nice experience for us to live. So we need to be aware of that. Our three discrimination faculties fuel our existence, you know. So we don't always have to be right. We can in fact be wrong, that they're just our labels and projections upon to the experience. So because of this, we'll probably only ever gravitate towards those people we like. But you know, all the population out there is people we don't know, most of them, and then there's a small pile, bigger for some, of dislike. Well, what that means then is we're only ever, you know, gravitating towards one or two people that bring us pleasure, maybe our partner and our families, and then we don't care about the rest. And in that way too, our lives become quite small. So really with equanimity, we're able to expand this compassion element towards the neutral people and the people we find difficult or challenging. And that is true equanimity in terms of externally expressing it, because it's equalizing the roles that these different types of people play in our lives. And that could be, you know, people that we don't agree with politically or whatever it is. There's lots of that right now. There's lots of divisiveness. Can we find a way in which to relate to this person still with a kind of overarching sense of compassion, yet still have a disagreement? See, it sounds so simple, doesn't it? But yet, you know, large part of the world is fueled upon this divisiveness. And if we look at media headlines and different campaigns and political, tribes now. It's all highly divisive, and it also plays on our role to be emotionally reactive to. So to counter this, we develop equanimity, because it evens out our kind of our ideas or perceptions of what we like and dislike, and neutrality, and above all regards human beings as worthy of compassion and self-compassion. And so, this is the antidote to divisiveness right now. All of the stuff happening out there right now, the only one thing we can do is prepare the mind in here, ready for when we encounter such experiences. If we don't do that, then, we'll be all happy when we're having the nice things, but then as soon as someone says something bad or wrong or we disagree with, we're suddenly juxed out of our little life, and we're kind of, oh my God, a big conflict, and then we're angry, and then God knows what will happen then. And, we're just almost living a very vulnerable and fragile existence dependent on the external conditions. So equanimity, you're kind of saying, no, I'm gonna take care of myself here. So I'm going to heighten my own awareness to my own discrimination faculties. And I'm also going to be patient with those who have certain judgments too. But this making love to the moment, it isn't a quickie. It's a lifelong journey. But you can start now.